The Eiffel Tower has sure had its fair share of history in France, for a monument that resembles modern day electric pylons. Yes sirree, for being a site for famous events like the picture with Hitler and the two guys who killed themselves in a publicity stunt gone wrong. It's safe to say the Eiffel Tower has certainly been a centre of the weird side of history. On par with this, it was even used as part of a scam on 2 occasions. The Eiffel Tower being used as a scam, you might be wondering. Now, how could someone manage to pull off such a bizarre and kinda obvious scam like that? Well, the fork-tongued individual behind it was none other than Victor Lustig. The man was an experienced con artist, being a man that used his sharp mind and daring attempts to con the gullible and rich. Lustig himself was no stranger to pulling off ballsy attempts to con the many he saw as potential marks. Along with his Eiffel Tower scam, some of his other famous cons included the Romanian box, a box that he claimed was an infinite money generator for whoever controlled it, and even conning successful prohibition gangster and not so successful tax evader Al Capone. But this video is talking about the Eiffel Tower, so how did the man manage to find someone dumb enough to actually buy the monument? The original idea of the scam came to him while he was staying in Paris, thinking of a new way to scam the next man he sees. He saw the newspapers in the city had articles complaining about the Eiffel Tower for being too much of a hunk of junk to keep looking pretty for the city folk, with some of them even calling for the tower to be entirely removed. The scam was like one of those instant light bulb ideas for Lustig, and as soon as that light was lit, he devised a clever plan on how he'd sell the tower off to a scrap company, who would, well, use the tower for scrap. This was the biggest con attempt of his life so far, and if he was going to do it, he would go all out for it. He hired a forager who helped fake French government stationery, and impersonated as Deputy Director of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. Not sure how choosing the role of a guy who's in charge of the postal service and telegraph lines would have had anything to do with the Eiffel Tower, but it still worked for him. But anyway, he organised a confidential meeting with several scrap dealers in Paris at the Hotel de Crillon, and during the meeting, he got to work, sweetening the dealers up to get them into a false sense of security. Well, oh well, what do we have here? Some of the strongest and finest scrap dealers in all of Paris, that's what. Oh, ho ho ho, Mr. Deputy Director of Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs, please. Hey, I'm serious guys, and a little birdie told me that you guys are some of the most respectable scrap dealers there are in all of Paris. And you all have a chance of walking away soon with sacks of scrap from that tower across the river. He convinced the dealers that the Eiffel Tower was becoming difficult to upkeep and maintain, and plans for the tower to be scrapped off, furthering the story to say how the tower itself sticks out like a sore thumb against other monuments in Paris, which fits the city's aesthetics better. And so, after his fake news was done, the dealers began to put their bids in for the tower, including this guy, Andre Poisson. What's so special about him? Well, he's new to the scrap business, and is very insecure about himself, making him a perfect combination for Lustig. He couldn't have asked for anybody else better at the table. Lustig put all his attention right onto Andre and Andre alone, and even arranged to have a private meeting with him. Lustig let out a little secret to Andre and told him that he was a corrupt official, since his position as a deputy minister in second charge of letters being delivered on time didn't bring him the lavish lifestyle of a politician he was hoping for. Andre even understood what he was getting at, but was still happy to pay extra for the tower regardless. Altogether, Andre paid 70,000 francs to Lustig for the tower, and now the deal was settled, Andre sat back, thinking he just hit the biggest deal of his life. Finally, he could be now part of the top businessmen in all of Paris, maybe even France. And now all he had to do was wait to get the official documents to say he now owns the tower. And so he waited. And waited. Waited some more. While Lustig fled to Austria in order that his scam actually worked, Andre was 70k down and humiliated. He never reported the incident to the police, just out of sheer embarrassment. It's probably a good thing he didn't really. I mean, the guy already had it bad enough finding out he just got conned. Could you imagine what the police would have said to him if they told him what happened? While Lustig stayed in Austria, he did keep up to date on the newspapers in France, and to his luck, no story of the scam was ever reported. You'd think after a daring scheme like that, Lustig would never try it again. But oh no, the balls on this man only got bigger. He headed onto a train back to Paris the year later to do it all again. Because you know what's funnier than doing something once? Doing it twice. But unfortunately for him, it didn't go quite well the second time. He almost got the payment, but his mark had a bit of last minute sense and got the police involved, forcing Lustig to ditch the scam and flee to America, where he continued on a life of deceit and scams. And so, that's how the scams of the Eiffel Tower happened. And with that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys liked me talking into the microphone this time and not AI. And again, thank you for watching.